Hey guys, Josiah here with Aesthetyx Fitness. In today's video, I'm going to be talking to you about 5 high-protein alternatives to your cravings. Okay, so I recently did a video talking about how indulging in cravings can actually help you stick to your dieting, and if you want to check that video out, you can check it out right here. But in today's video, I wanted to talk about sort of an alternative to that, and that is finding higher protein, lower fat alternatives to foods that you might crave on a regular basis. So in today's video, I'm specifically looking at foods where the standard normal type of this food would not contribute beneficially to your macronutrient requirements, but this alternative is going to fill those in a lot better and not require you to sort of restructure your eating patterns around whatever food or ingredient this may be. But before we get started with today's topic and today's top 5 list, make sure to click that subscribe button down below and click the little bell icon. That way every time I come up with a new video, you guys are getting notified, not missing out on any great new content. And if you feel like it, it really helps me out if you click that little like button down below as well. Now with that out of the way, let's get started. Alright, so today's top 5 list is going to, like I said, revolve around sort of high protein, low fat ingredient replacements for foods that you might commonly enjoy eating that don't fit your macros very well. So without any other further ado, let's get started. Alright, number 5 is going to be lifetime fat-free cheeses. Now these are, as far as I'm aware, available in only a couple stores around the country, but they do ship via mail, and they'll ship them refrigerated in a little box, and you can just stick them right in your fridge when you get them. And they are actually fat-free hard cheeses. I think they do cheddar, Swiss, I think they have like a Mexican spices cheese. I think they do like a Gouda or something like that as well. A couple different varieties. But what they are cheeses made from fat-free skim milk that behave and taste very similarly to the normal full-fat versions of those cheeses. So I'm able to make a plate of nachos that has like 60 grams of protein and like 12 grams of fat, and that's all coming just from the chips because the cheese itself is almost pure protein. Now, I will say, fair balance, it doesn't melt quite as well as a higher fat cheese, that's to be expected. So if you do mix it like 50-50 with another cheese, it works a lot better. Also, they tend to be slightly less flavorful. So things like the Swiss are much less flavorful, much less nutty than a full fat Swiss that you'd normally buy. So just keep that in mind, but again, they're still delicious, they still have a great cheese texture, and they do still melt if you put them in the oven. So they work well to add into foods where you want to add in an extra source of cheese without going over in your calories. Number 4 is Fairlife milk. Now we're on a bit of a dairy kick here, but Fairlife milk is essentially a filtered higher protein alternative to standard milk. They have a skim milk, a 2% milk, and chocolate milk, which is absolutely delicious. And that's actually what I want to talk about right now. Their chocolate milk has 13 grams of protein per cup, only 4.5 grams of fat, and I think 13 grams of carbs. So basically it has like 3 times as much protein as fat. And that's for chocolate milk that has a delicious, creamy texture and consistency to it. And honestly, the moment I drank it, I was like, wow, this tastes better than actual normal chocolate milk made with like whole milk. So it's really delicious, and even their skim milk is really good. It's better than normal skim milk in my opinion, taste profile wise, and you have again like 13 grams of protein as opposed to like, I think it's like 6 or 7 with normal skim milk. So higher protein and more delicious. You can find it just about everywhere that I've been. So definitely check that out. It's really tasty, and it's also filtered so it has less lactose, or I think it might actually be lactose free, but don't quote me on that. So it's healthier for you, it's better, it's delicious. Definitely check that out. Number 3, moving away from milks and cheeses, is Kodiak cakes. Now Kodiak cakes, specifically their high protein, or I think they're called their protein packed pancake mix. This stuff is made from entirely whole grain. It's really tasty, really delicious, and it's just an easy to make pancake mix. You can mix it with just like water or milk, or you can do like milk and crack an egg into it. I've sometimes done it with Fairlife skim milk and then putting an egg white in there. Still turns out really delicious, but then it really jacks up the protein quite a bit, makes it very high protein pancake mix. And these, as opposed to your standard pancake mix, have 14 grams of protein per serving, 30 grams of carbs, and I think it's like 2 grams of fat. So if you make yourself a couple pancakes, you can easily get a pancake breakfast that has like 30 to 45 grams of protein in it, which is really awesome, especially when you top it with like a PB Fit, like high protein peanut butter, and then a little bit of light maple syrup. You can have yourself a really healthy but very decadent tasting breakfast if your person likes pancakes and waffles, because the pancake mix does also work in waffle irons and makes some pretty mean waffles as well. Number 2 is center cut bacon. Now this is not a specific brand of bacon, it's just a specific type of bacon. You should be able to find a couple different brand versions of it. But the reason it is on this list is because it is the only type of real bacon I have found that is actually higher in protein than fat. It usually per 2 slices has about 6 grams of protein and 3 or 4 grams of fat. So you are getting significantly more protein ratio-wise than you are fat per serving of bacon. So this means if you want to have breakfast with your Kodiak cakes and like 3 or 4 slices of bacon on the side, you can do that without being like, oh gosh, now I suddenly have had like 20 grams of fat just in one meal and I need to start budgeting elsewhere in my calories. It just allows you to actually enjoy the deliciousness of bacon without having to try to substitute in some much lesser form of bacon, because that's the great thing about center cut bacon is, to my taste, I taste almost no difference between like the full fat standard bacon and center cut bacon. It still has that bacon taste and it still crisps up deliciously in a pan. You can make it limp or you can make it extra crunchy. It works just like regular bacon does. So I would give that a try next time you want to have a big breakfast and not blow your fat calories out of the water. All right, number 1 is Proyo. Proyo is a frozen yogurt high protein dessert, sort of an alternative to Halo Top. But in my opinion, personally, it is just way better than Halo Top in every way. It comes in a lot of really tasty flavors like peanut butter chocolate chip, mint chocolate chip, salted caramel, chocolate, double chocolate chunk, all of which are really good. I've sampled all of them from my local Kroger store. They're really, really good. And you can usually find coupons for money off your future purchases on the side of them. And they are not a sponsor. I'm not getting paid any money by them. But hey, Proyo, if you're listening, hook me up. Anyway, they're really good, and in my opinion, they have that same ice cream richness and fullness that you get from a regular ice cream that I feel like Halo Top kind of lacks. And I just like their flavors more. They've got real like little chunks of dark chocolate in there, so that even though you're not blowing your nutrition, you get kind of that same texture and taste that you would from a normal ice cream with the sort of stuff they're putting in it. So it tastes really good, and you're getting like 10 grams of protein per serving, and some of them have like 0.5 grams of fat per serving. So very low fat, very high protein. And so you can have like a whole big bowl of the stuff for dessert without messing up your nutrition at all. So it tastes great, it's good for you, really good stuff, definitely check that out. Alright guys, that is it for today's video. Thank you so much for watching. Remember to hit that like button down below if you found today's video entertaining or informative. And leave a comment down below letting me know if you guys have any of your own favorite high protein, low fat replacements for popular cravings. And click that subscribe button so that every time I come up with a new video, you guys are getting notified, not missing out, so that I can help you train smarter and look better.